what is something that you want to get addicted to? And if you want to be, real and go like, hey, this is what I've been addicted to that hasn't been helping, let me know that too. So what is it you want to move from and what you want to move towards? You become somebody who is the master of what you are addicted to. You are the master of how much you do anything that you are in charge. You are at choice. You are the conscious creator of your life and you take full responsibility. Are you ready to live a life with enough time, money, and energy? Have relationships and connections that delight you? Are you ready for the extraordinary life you know you've been missing? If so, then this is the place for you. I'm a best-selling author, coach, consultant, and speaker who's worked in technology for over 2 decades. I'm a leader at transforming people and organizations from operating in fear, obligation, and guilt to running off joy, ease, and love. It's time for Engineering Emotions and Energy with me, Justin Wenck, Ph.D. Today, we're going to be talking about the topic of addiction. And I know some of you might be going, Justin, this doesn't have anything to do with me because I have a good job, or I run a successful business, or I've got relationships and a family and all these other things. So I couldn't possibly be addicted. Yet there's more to addiction than maybe what you've traditionally associated with addiction. And if you can own up to your addiction, then you can turn it into your greatest asset. And that's what I'm going to be exploring with you today, is how to turn your addiction into your asset. Because in some ways, now, first off, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm someone who actually wants to help you live a better life and do things that fulfill you, bring joy, ease, and love to yourself and to those around you. So if there is something, that is going on that maybe does need medical help or professional help, definitely go search. There's plenty of resources online. There's phone numbers. There's all sorts of things. Go check that out and, do what's best for you. Yet I am going to encourage you to listen to this, check out the ideas, and consider that, maybe there's more to addiction than we've previously been told or thought to understand. Because if you're like many people, you might think that, well, being an addict, that involves like alcohol or drugs, and that involves it like, you gotta, waste all of your money, or, like be a compulsive gambler, and that there's going to be things that you do, you probably end up in jail, and maybe you eventually end up dead. And that is one form that addiction takes. Like it's been part of my family. I grew up with it. That was the type of addict that my sister was, actually, where, she went to jail multiple times. So I'm sharing all this because it's public record. And she died from her addiction and an overdose of something that I don't even know what, it doesn't even matter. And that's where it can lead. And she, basically damaged all of her relationships. I didn't speak to her for the majority of the past, 10 or 15 years, because just the addiction to substances was the main thing. That didn't matter what she said or what she did. At some points, it did, but again, so there is that form. Yet there's another form that I've definitely experienced, and you might experience as well, that's a little bit, more challenging in some ways, because you can kind of hide it. You can get away with it. It's like, oh, I got this handled. Yet, if we really, look into like what is addiction, according to Wikipedia, the expert of experts, um, it's a neuropsychological disorder. That's not very helpful. But it's characterized by a persistent and intense urge to use a drug or engage in a behavior, right? So this doesn't have to be a substance. It can just be a behavior that produces a natural reward despite substantial harm and other negative consequences. So, as long as there is substantial harm or other negative consequences and you do it anyway, that's addiction, my friend. That's addiction. So, could be finishing an entire pizza. It could be spending hours with pornography. It could be, dating multiple people so that you can, have that hit of, oh, they like me and they want to be with me, right? Or the drama. It could be, being loose with money. It could be spending all of your money shopping. It could be working too much. It could be focusing on bringing in too much money, right? There's so many. It can even be exercise can be addictive, right? Like ultra marathoning, like it destroys the body because it's going beyond what maybe the body is intended to do. It's like, oh, it can do it once because that was so that you could survive. Yet to do it repetitively over and over again, it can cause damage to the body. So again, substantial harm or negative consequences, yet you are compelled to do this behavior anyway. And so, I've definitely had my share of these things from food. I don't know, there's probably let's just say there's been a number of things. Food, I've had my issues with alcohol. Like, when I was in college, I literally went to the hospital 3 times because I drank too much. Um, so I've had, it's like negative consequences to substances as well as to other behaviors and things like that. And so it's one of those things like when you kind of can own that, like, oh, I have an addictive tendencies, then we can look at it and go like, well, do I necessarily have to get rid of it? Because there's sort of this myth that, oh, the addiction is bad and needs to be eliminated and it becomes an enemy, something to battle. And if you've been listening to the show, you might have noticed that fighting ourselves, fighting aspects of us doesn't often work out well. It just usually maybe it hides it for a bit and then it comes back even worse, right? So the key is to recognize it, understand it, and maybe even utilize it, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you today is how to utilize your addiction to maybe have a life that doesn't have all those negative consequences. Because in many ways, is there a big difference between addiction and a habit? And we've talked a lot about habits. A habit is just something that you just do without thinking. And addiction is almost just that ratchet up to 11. I did see a preview for there's going to be like the 40th or 41st anniversary of This Is Spinal Tap being played in the theaters. And I don't think I'd actually seen it, but in the preview, they have the infamous scene where a guy is talking about like most amplifiers for guitars, they just go up to 10, but this one goes up to 11. And it actually wasn't very funny. This, the idea that I've heard other people talk about it has been way funnier. But when I saw that scene, I was like, it's not that funny. Um, but anyway, addiction really is a habit that's gone up to 11. And again, there really are no good or bad habits. It's just, is it working for you with the life that you want to enjoy and live? If it's not working for you, we'll call that a bad habit. If it's working for you, if it's bringing you the life that you want, like if you're in the habit of being kind to people, right? Then that's probably going to be a good habit to be in. And addiction can kind of be the same way, where if we aim that tendency, that mode of being towards something that benefits us, then it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Yet we've demonized addicts, addiction, all these things as something that's like, oh, they need to fix it, it needs to go away. You don't want to be an addict ever again. While also in the same way, kind of making it like this is a permanent thing. So like the 12-step work, which is something that I've done before. I did a little bit of AA back when I was in college. And then really I did a lot of Al-Anon, which is for the friends and family of alcoholics and addicts, but they use the same 12 steps for the most part. Um, and part of it is just admitting like I am an alcoholic. I am an alcoholic. I am an addict. And we've talked about identity and how that can be very powerful. And so again, it's all on how you use it. And so to me, just saying like I am an addict or I am an alcoholic is not actually that's disempowering because it's like I can't do anything with it. It's like it's like I'm somebody who has addictive traits, that's a whole lot more workable than I am an addict, I am an alcoholic. I'm somebody who has challenges with alcohol, right? That's something, or I'm somebody who has challenges with gambling, or I'm somebody who has challenges with how much food I consume. And again, I would always want to maybe ask for now. Um, and then maybe at some point it becomes like I'm somebody who used to have challenges with relationships, yet now I don't. Right? So the thing is when you say I am and something, that's forever, past, present, future. You're fucked. You're totally, absolutely 100% fucked. And why, a lot of these things are set up with the best of intentions, yet when they don't fully understand how we work, and sometimes I do wonder if there are groups and people who do fully understand and recognize how this works, where if somebody's an addict for life, that's incredibly profitable for many institutions, many situations. Again, helping addicts is big business. It is big, big business, both the medical side, the rehab side. So again, using my sister for example, she had been to tons and tons of rehabs and programs and this and that and the other thing, and they got lots of money, yet they never got her out of the addiction because really, if that first one had, then there'd be no need to go to the second one. If there was a program that was 100% successful, within 10 years, we would have absolutely no addicts, even if there was just one program. Everyone would eventually come in, no longer be an addict, and that would be done. It's horrible, horrible business. So again, sometimes we got to think of like what are the incentives to what is the current way of viewing these problems. And if we see that, wait, there's an incentive that's not here to help me, but to utilize me. And again, not to say that the people involved in all these things aren't good-hearted, wanting to do the best. They are part of a system that is kind of gotten away from them, beyond them. And I'm here to let you know how you can go beyond the current system, the current way of looking at things so that you can live the life that you want to live. And these other things will sort themselves out. Now, listen carefully. If you're able to see that, okay, I have these addictive qualities, it's just what do I want to be addicted to? That's then the key question, right? Because most of you, I hope, you're fucking addicted to brushing your teeth. I mean, can you imagine the lengths that you go to get that sweet, sweet paste all up in them and then dentites, the up, down, the back and forth, even the getting the tongue, like morning and night. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you find a way to brush your fucking teeth, you goddamned addict of a toothbrusher. Oh my gosh. But we don't necessarily say that that's too negative. I mean, there is a negative. It takes time out of your day. It takes resources, right? And sometimes you might be in a place where it's like, oh, this is a bit of a pain in the ass. And there are some people that go a little extreme. I'm sure you've seen, this coworker toothbrusher guy who's after lunch in the bathroom brushing their teeth, or there's people where it's just like, hey, you've taken this a little too far. So everything can be a little too far, but when you're conscious that you chose your addiction, then you can be conscious of what's too far and you can move it to other things. So what might be some good things to become addicted to, right? Like if you became addicted to like a meditation practice or an energy practice, or to making sure that you connect with a good coach or a therapist, and that you see them every week. Like it's like, oh my gosh, even if I'm traveling, I gotta check in with my therapist or my coach. Like, could you imagine if that's what you were addicted to? If you were addicted to, you know, a 25-minute walk in nature every day, right? Like it's like it doesn't matter where I am, I just got to make it happen. I'm jonesing for the walk today. I got to get out there. I got to get a little sun. I got to get some, I got to see something green. I don't care if it's in a potted plant. I just got to see some nature, man. I just got to have it, right? A little bit of exercise. If you became addicted to understanding what is best for your body in terms of food and beverage, right? Like, have you ever thought of just, what you could get addicted to so that you don't have to fight addiction? You just have to guide it. You're not in it, you're above it, you're utilizing it. You are in control and you're mastering because if you become addicted to serving other people in a healthy way, if you become addicted to knowing your boundaries and communicating them in a kind way, oh my gosh, what's your life going to be like? What's your life going to be like? So it really isn't that addiction is bad. It's, have you been addicted to things that haven't been serving you? And it doesn't matter if it looks like you've got it all together. You know, that there are some things that are just like, this isn't serving me. This isn't helping me. This is too much. I'm not at choice here. I am under the control of this behavior or this substance or this situation. Yet when you flip it to, what am I going to shift that to? And again, like as I've mentioned in past shows where I talk about habit, the habit never goes away. You can always fall into whatever the previous behavior is. Yet, if you created a pattern of another behavior, if you do fall back into that behavior and you give it the meaning of absolutely nothing and you just go like, I just I just ate that entire bag of cookies. Huh. That was an experience. It was kind of good, but oh, my stomach hurts. And then like, oh, I don't know, something happened with my skin the next day. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to going with a vengeance to eating the way that's best for my body, where I'm avoiding too much sugar, I'm avoiding the dairy, whatever it is for you, right? You're not gonna get stuck in it. And maybe if you get stuck for a week or 2 weeks or a month, who gives a shit compared to you'd been stuck in something for a lifetime or the vast majority of your life or for years? It's about the progress, not perfection, which is they had lots of great bumper sticker sayings in 12 step work, and they are great. Yet it's about understanding the meaning of that. And that is the meaning of progress, not perfection. To me, is maybe you have a backslide, no big deal. You just go back and you let it go. It was just something that happened, but it's not a lifestyle. It's not who you are. You become somebody who is the master of what you are addicted to. You are the master of how much you do anything that you're in charge. You are at choice. You are the conscious creator of your life and you take full responsibility. Now, again, some of these things that you're wanting to get away from, like you weren't conscious of it. Like you might have stumbled into it, right? Like you might have been really young. These might have been habits or addictions passed on to you from your parents. Like my dad had a very addictive personality. Like before, he got sober when I was from alcohol when I was about a year. I was a baby or something. And apparently, he would go on some quite the wild adventures and things like that. Yet he still had a very addictive personality to one of the main things was work. He definitely a workaholic, still working. He's in his 70s now, still works his ass off. Yet one thing that was pretty amazing is he had a cancer scare. And it seemed like he was addicted to beating cancer. He was like, I'm gonna do whatever it fucking takes to beat cancer, and he did. So again, it's not it's not that these are necessarily bad qualities. It's all in how you utilize them for the life that you want. And so I'm curious, what is something that you want to get addicted to? And if you want to be, real and go like, hey, this is what I've been addicted to that hasn't been helping, let me know that too. So what is it you want to move from and what you want to move towards? And I'd love to hear this. And it's one of those things, if you have like a question, like, how do I move this? Like maybe that'll be an episode that I can go into to answer some of these questions or give some more ideas in depth. So happy that you were here. And just because maybe you've done some things that you're not proud of or haven't been serving you, like that doesn't mean that you're stuck with that or it's got to get worse. You can just start to change things right now. The big thing is to just get conscious and to be aware that you have the power, you have the ability, and make that choice, and then start making the steps, and getting help makes things so much more easy, so much more fun. So I'd encourage you to get some help. Can be a coach. I coach people, and but you can get other therapists, and there's all sorts of resources depending on where you are to help people with addiction. Yet be mindful of what you're going to become addicted to. Because again, there's a system out there that wants you to get addicted to being an addict who has to get treated by the addiction system that, let's be honest, has a shitty, awful success rate that results often in people just dying. So be careful out there. Listen to your heart. You got this. I'm here to support you. Thank you so much, and good day. Thanks for tuning in to Engineering Emotions and Energy with Justin Wenck, Ph.D. Today's episode resonated with you? Please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Your feedback not only supports the show, but also helps others find us and start their journey of emotional and energetic mastery. You can also help by sharing this podcast with someone you think will love it just as much as you do. Together, we're engineering more amazing lives.